She mentioned it so casually between bites of her salad. "I'm getting my tubes untied," she said, twirling her fork as if it were nothing. "My ex wants kids now." The entire table went quiet. Her friends looked from her to me, waiting to see how I'd respond. I gave a small, practiced smile. "And you expect me to raise them?" I asked evenly. She shrugged, her tone light. "You're stable, dependable. It's not like you ever wanted more anyway." The others laughed softly, her laugh the loudest among them. I set my napkin down, adjusted my cufflinks, and met her eyes. "Then follow your heart," I said calmly. "Do what makes you happy." She smiled, thinking she'd won something that night. That's when I decided she wouldn't see the next move coming. By dessert, the first pieces of my revenge were already in motion. We met when her life was chaos, working double shifts, chasing approval like it was oxygen. I was already settled, structured, steady. She used to call me her safe place. I believed in her, paid off her debts, put her through nursing school. When she landed her first job, she called me in tears, saying she couldn't have done it without me. I thought love meant partnership. To her, love was convenience. Somewhere along the way, her gratitude morphed into entitlement. Every kindness became an obligation. Every we quietly turned into me. By the time I realized she'd checked out emotionally, she was already halfway into another man's life. The first warning sign wasn't the late nights or the turnover phone screens. It was the silence, the kind that fills a house after years of easy conversation.
She stopped asking about my day.
Stopped wearing her ring at work. One evening, I saw her phone light up. A name I didn't recognize. Just a heart emoji. Then another. Then a message. "Can't wait to start our family." I didn't confront her. I observed. Every day, another lie layered itself over the last. Doctor's appointments, catching up with friends, new lingerie that was never for me. Pain gave way to clarity, and clarity evolved into something colder. Sharper.
I didn't yell.
I didn't plead. I planned. 3 days later, I sat in my lawyer's office. "File for divorce," I said quietly. "Use the clause." 5 years earlier, we'd signed a post-nuptial agreement, one she barely skimmed. It protected my assets if she ever committed infidelity or breached marital trust. The kind of detail no one ever thinks about until it's too late. Step 1. Freeze every joint account, every card connected to me. Step 2. Transfer the house deed back into my name. She'd signed it over during her "trust me, I'm yours forever" phase. Step 3. Update the insurance beneficiaries. Her name? Removed. Her upcoming emergency procedure? No longer covered. By the time she booked her surgery, her access to money, credit, and the house was already cut off. I even scheduled the divorce filing to trigger the very morning of her operation. Timing, as always, was everything. That morning, she texted me a photo of herself in a hospital gown, smiling. Caption: "A new beginning." I replied, "You'll get one." While she was under anesthesia, her lawyer's assistant received an alert. Divorce filed, assets frozen. Her credit cards declined one by one. The car payment, the one I'd been quietly covering, bounced. Her mother called me that afternoon. Straight to voicemail. By evening, the hospital's billing department was calling her, demanding payment upfront. Her dream of a new family suddenly had no financial air left to breathe. The irony? She'd used my insurance card for the procedure. It was already invalid. Then her lawyer called. He sounded panicked. "Mr. Hale, are you aware your wife just had surgery?" "You can't." "She's not my wife," I said evenly. "Not anymore." He stumbled. "But the accounts, her recovery, she's—" "Check your email," I interrupted. I'd already sent him everything: documents, screenshots, messages, timestamps, legal filings, and the contract clause she'd violated. Her betrayal was cataloged, notarized, and sealed in digital ink. The line went quiet before he finally whispered, "You timed this." "Yes," I said. "I always time things." Later that night, I got one last text from her. "How could you do this while I was on the table?" I stared at it for a long while before typing, You said you were following your heart. I just made sure it had room to breathe. I never pressed send. The divorce finalized in 2 months. She moved in with him. He left 6 weeks later. Turns out, starting a family costs money she no longer had. The hospital sued her for unpaid bills. The bank repossessed the car. Through mutual friends, I heard she's renting a single room now, still blaming everyone but herself. As for me, I moved on quietly, bought a smaller place near the lake. Some nights, I sit out on the deck with a drink, watching the city lights ripple across the water. I think about how she mistook silence for weakness, how she taught me that mercy is so often mistaken for permission. And sometimes, when the wind shifts just right, I can still hear her voice from that dinner table echoing in my mind. I'm getting my tubes untied. I smile, because in the end, she got exactly what she wanted, freedom. And I got mine. Revenge doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it quietly signs the papers while you're still asleep.